You're listening to Into Your Head, hosted by Neil, Ireland's version of the Octomom. Except he's a dude and has cats.
Absolutely fantastic.
You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, number 550 for Wednesday, an extra show as we catch up after the recent downtime due to a myriad of technical issues. Suffice to say, I don't leave my listeners short. If I miss a week or a week and a bit or whatever it was, I damn well catch up with it or for it. I make up for it, whatever you freaking call it. You can call it a kettle, or call it a black kettle, or call it call it what it is. Say it like it is. That's what they say. That's what people say. They say it like it is. But that's not true. Calling it say it like it is does not accurately represent how language works, because we don't say it like it is. If I say anti-disestablishmentarianism, you write down that word. It doesn't look in any way, shape or form like the thing that it describes, or that it allegedly describes. Oh no. Real anti-disestablishmentarianism out in the real world is basically would be people standing with a picket line, holding up barriers, saying, no disestablishmentarianism here, no disestablishmentarianism here. Of course you never see that nowadays. That's anti-disestablishmentarianism is a thing of the past. It's not to say that people aren't against disestablishmentarianism. It's just that it's gone and they don't feel the need to protest against it anymore. They protest against other things. They protest against people, like they protest against billionaires not paying their fair share of taxes. They protest against people who let their dogs run free in a park and crap all over the place. They protest against. You ever see anyone protesting, incidentally, about humans pissing in public? They're all about the dogs. They say those dogs are crapping and pissing all over the place. They mostly complain about the crap because they can't see the piss unless they see the dog peeing. People don't tend to get excited about dog pee because it's invisible. It's the same with frigging nuclear leakage. The Sellafield across the water from here could have been leaking for the last 30 years, poisoning us all, but because we can't see it, we don't protest about it. Although now that you mention it, there are people who protest against that. But that's not the point, no. If you see dog euro, if you were living within a few miles of Chernobyl, I'll tell you, that's when you'd get worried about dog urine, because dog urine would likely contain contamination from the leakage. Although you probably wouldn't worry too much if you're living there, because you'd already have been contaminated. Such as my understanding of the nuclear medicine. Is there such a thing as nuclear medicine? I'm sure there must be. Because that's if you have freaking X-rays, they've got all sorts of microwaves and weird waves in them. Surely there's some stuff that you can do with nuclear stuff that's probably useful as well. If it's useful to put something like a microwave X-ray through someone's brain to do an examination of what's wrong with them, I'm sure they have uses or potential uses for nuclear fission as well. If that ever starts to be used, I'll tell you, that's when the shit will hit the fan. You'll have ordinary medical health workers in charge of huge nuclear bomb stations. They'll have one at each hospital clinic. They'll have little mini nuclear power stations, and there'll be a radiologist or something who's in charge of that. He'll have expanded his role to include managing a mini nuclear power station for medical purposes. And I tell you, that's when you realise how little control we have over the world in which we live. We've no control over these things. If someone pisses in the garden next door to you and the piss flows below the water table into the area below your vegetable patch, no amount of fences or walls between you is going to stop that unless you build a wall down into the ground, 10 miles down into the ground, which you'll probably be told you don't own. I don't know how the ground thing works. But I know there's a law that you don't own every inch of space up above your house. You only owe it within a reasonable height. There's some law that says you own up to a reasonable height to be determined by courts where needed. You don't own all the way up to the clouds above your house. No. But I don't know how it works with the ground. In my day, you used to pay a ground rent. Even if you owned the frigging house, you'd pay a ground rent to the council or something. And then you rented the ground. They didn't even tell you how far down you were renting into the ground, so I don't know. If you go and dig a hole to sow you dig a trench to sow some carrots, and then you fill it up. Your carrots trespassing on someone else's property. A carrot isn't a legal entity, so it shouldn't be a problem, but are you in charge of those carrots? Are you their legal representative? Are you their official guardian? I don't know. Do carrots have guardians? I'm sure carrots are treated the same way by the law as every other vegetable. It's just that I don't know how every other vegetable is treated under the law, so that doesn't help me in any way. Anyway, suffice to say hello and welcome to the show. This is your Into Your Head junior announcer Glenn Acton. I recently announced that I was prepared to, from now on, I was offering bollocks. I have no script for this. That's the problem. I work from scripts. That's the nub of this whole issue. I recently announced that I will announce anything that the listeners request me to announce, as long as it's non-commercial, obviously. And here's my first request. It's from Manny the Mailman in New Jersey. He says, "Dear Glenn Acton, would you please announce that Manny the Mailman has been listening to Into Your Head podcast for 5 years, and every time show host Neil says Manny, he thinks he's being talked about." So here we go. Manny the Mailman has been listening to Into Your Head podcast for 5 years, and every time show host Neil says Manny, he thinks he's being talked about. There you go, Manny. I hope that helps. If you would like me to announce anything, just email me, Glenn Acton, the Into Your Head junior announcer. Just send it to studio@intoyourhead.com. Absolutely fucking fine. I want to announce something else now. Let's see if I announce some of today's news. That's what I'll do. I can find. I've been waiting weeks to do this because we had some technical issues last week. Let's see. Let's go to the BBC News and find something serious to announce, because I hope to be an announcer with the BBC someday. Not with this some crappy little podcast where I'm treated like a fictional character. Hurry up, internet. Give me something to announce. Israel warns time short on Iran. Here we go. Here is an announcement based on today's news, as depicted by the British Broadcasting Corporation website. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu tells a pro-Israel US lobby time is running out to stop Iran developing a nuclear weapon. That needs punctuation. That news was obviously written at 3 o'clock in the morning by some BBC journalist who's got his audience in mind. He's thinking, people are going to be reading this on their phones, on the train, on the way into work in a couple of hours. So I won't bother putting in punctuation, because these people are just going to... I don't know what he was thinking, but he wasn't writing it specially for me. So I really must adapt these scripts before before I read them. I need a frigging script editor now. That's the next thing. Who wants to be the script editor? I suppose John Acton could be the script editor. But more of him a future. Oh, Rush Limbaugh. I admire him. He's got a deep voice. He just talks an awful lot of crap. He's been in the news lately. Rush on the talk station, AM 680 WRKO Boston. I've heard him on that station. I spent many a summer in the city of Boston, Massachusetts. There's a picture of Rush Limbaugh. Oh, his face is a lot squarer than I remember. He's got a big miserable, mean-looking frown on him. He's got his mouth open the way a UK Tory Conservative would. That's the way UK Tory Conservatives, they used to go on Newsnight on the BBC, and they all had that face that he's wearing now on this. I can't really describe it, but they do a frown, and then they do they hang their lower lip down from their top lip like it's fallen open, like on one of them wooden puppets, and you see, they have a slight grin on them, but it's an evil grin, like your man who went on Newsnight famously in the 90s and said, "What's her face? The minister for something had a look of the night of her," or something controversial like that. Suffice to say, this wouldn't mean anything to you. This only means stuff to those of us who used to watch the news in England on England television in the 90s, as I did, from a safe neutral distance here in Ireland. But no, this is no. Let's see if I can find something else to announce. I'll announce this sentence. That's what I'll do. Rush Limbaugh has made a career out of controversy and has seen off boycotts before. More advertisers abandon Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh should just sign up for the Amazon thing. The Amazon thing that we've got here. If you go to intoyourhead.com, click on the Amazon links, and every time you buy anything on Amazon through that link, doesn't cost you a penny extra, but Into Your Head gets a hit. That's what Rush Limbaugh should sign up for. Although I believe those things reject some people who swear a lot. Does Rush Limbaugh swear a lot? I don't think he does. Is slut a swear word? It depends how you use it, I suppose. Does slut have another more innocent meaning, I wonder? Let's see. Definition slut. Search. Let's look up the definition of slut here. You might as well educate ourselves while we're doing this. Slut or slattern is a term applied to an individual who is considered to have loose sexual morals or who is sexually promiscuous. The term is generally pejorative. There's a link to a definition of pejorative. That's the problem with these definitions. You have to know other words before they're of any use to you. You end up in a vicious circle. You ask them, what's the definition of turnip? And they'll say, it's a bit like a parsnip but more turnipy. And you'll say, what does turnipy mean? It means it's of the likeness of a turnip. And you'll say, what's a turnip being? And they'll say, it's like it's a parsnipy thing, but it's not quite a parsnip, it's more turnipy. You just spend the rest of your life just assuming that you know what a turnip is, because that's the best you can do. The best you can do is go out into your garden, find something that you think just from a general feeling inside you, a sixth sense, you feel like it's turnipy, even though you don't know what a turnip technically is. That's the best you can do in this world. Otherwise, you just spend your whole life stuck in an encyclopedia in a vicious circle with your thesaurus in one hand and your dictionary in the other, and your freaking Google up in front of you, and your announcement thing. Did I do that, man? I'll do it again now. I might as well. It's the first ever official request for an announcement from me, Glenn Acton, who will announce anything. Dear Glenn Acton, would you please announce that? Okay, so it starts there. This is an announcement. Manny the Mailman has been listening to Into Your Head podcast for 5 years, and every time show host Neil says Manny, he thinks he's being talked about. There you go. Maybe I am talking about you, Manny, or maybe Neil is, I don't know. But you should know that there's 2 N's in Manny, and there's only 1 N in Manny. So if you just look through the show notes, you'll be able to see which Manny he's referring to by what way it's spelled. It's quite simple when you think about it. Although admittedly there mightn't be any show notes today, as I'm saving time while we catch up. Anyway, back to your host, Neil. I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, oh, there's a natural break between segments here, and it's halfway through a half-hour show, so that means he's probably going to put in some commercials here. I'll just fast forward through this. Well, no, hold your horses. There's no commercials in this episode. Absolutely none whatsoever. I'm catching up after some downtime, so I'm giving you another commercial-free episode from Into Your Head, the show that cares about its listeners. You can listen to Into Your Head at intoyourhead.com. This isn't a commercial because it's advertising a show that doesn't have commercials in it. Unless, of course, you're listening to this in the future and you go to the website on foot of this and you're hit in the face with a future episode that does have commercials in it, which is highly likely because according to my stats, half of you people listen to these shows 3 or 4 weeks after they come out, which, if you don't mind me saying, is deeply unhelpful. Absolute, not of any use to me whatsoever. No, though. I noticed during the downtime, though, that you all seem to catch up. Basically, let's not get bogged down in the stats to demonstrate it, but suffice to say, when this show takes a week off, you people catch up, according to the stats. It's probably helped that he took several of 100 episodes down from the feed recently, but you can still get to them if you bother to read the website. Anyway, suffice to say... Feck. I was hoping to do a big deep belch there, but no, I wasn't ready. My throat seems to be filling up with phlegm. Apparently, filling up with phlegm does not make for a good belch. Despite the fact that I've had half a litre of fizzy energy drink, which normally makes for a good belch. But no, there's no belch to come. No belch all day makes Jack a dull boy. Is that a thing? That is a thing. It depends on what the thing is, but it's a thing that I just said, so therefore it's a thing. I accidentally said so, therefore, there. That's one of my pet peeves. People who say so, therefore. It's just like saying, the thing is. That's what they say now. You listen to the radio and there'll be people saying, the thing is. They'll do it. Oh, they're not even doing it as a joke or as a complaint like I'm doing it now. Oh no. I think I'm coming down with AIDS. That's unfortunate. Particularly throat. It would have been useful if you had got your spring 2012 throat AIDS cold out of the way during the week when we were down. But no, apparently not. The human condition does not stick to a schedule. We'll try explaining that to me when I'm 102 and something clicks in my brain saying, oh, it's time for you to die now. It's your natural time to die. The human condition, none of us live past 102, so you're going to die now despite having no illnesses or health problems of any kind. That's what happens. You can jog, you can spend your whole life jogging and doing morning runs and frigging looking after yourself and eating porridge. You still won't live past 102 no matter how well you look after yourself, because there's a frigging Oh, there's basically a time bomb inside you, a genetic time bomb. That we can go to the moon, we can land on the moon, we can film ourselves landing on the moon with a robot driving the spaceship and operating the camcorder. But we can't frigging turn off a frigging alarm clock that's set to make us die when we're 102. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. We're doing this whole science thing arseways, you know. If we were any good, we'd have started with space travel. We'd have skipped the whole road wheel travel thing and just gone straight onto space travel, because you can get to anywhere through space. You can get from Ireland to Australia by going straight up into space and then waiting for the Earth to turn and then dropping yourself down when Australia is underneath you. That was a real idea that one of the airlines have. They want to basically have orbiting flight. You get in a plane and it goes up just above the atmosphere and waits for the Earth to rotate to where you want to be. It's basically not travel at all. It's waiting. They're turning aeroplanes into a giant waiting room that waits in a void. I like that void that Robin Williams on Mork and Mindy used to go into to talk to his boss. He used to go into a big black void, or such was my understanding of it when I was watching it when I was 5 years old. It probably wasn't a void at all, but that's how I remember it. Mork would go into a void to talk to his boss, his alien overlords from the planet that he was from. Anyway, on with the show.
Do you have requests, questions, ringworm, comments, suggestions, clarifications? Contact Neil at studio@intoyourhead.com. That's studio@intoyourhead.com.
Hello, it's me again. I just had a little break there for a cough. Normally at this point I take several months off to allow myself to recover from this illness, but since you've already had over a week off from technical issues and I'm trying to catch up, that's not going to happen. So if you hear phlegm in my mouth, it's just a sign that I'm a hard-working individual with a working ethic. I work for you. I need to get to work on behalf of you, the Into Your Head listener. I can't be sitting around getting ill, catching AIDS, getting doctors putting frigging nuclear fishes into my head to try and test me for whatever it is I have. No, there's no time to be sick now. I know there's another phrase that contradicts that. It says, no time like the present. But no, there is no time other than the present for getting sick or something along those, whatever it is. I don't have to redesign every catchphrase just to fit whatever happens to be going on today. You know, if these slogans and old wives' tales and sayings are out of date, just let them disappear. I don't have to rewrite them. No. If the world is flat, if there's a saying that says the world is flat, that someone wrote 1,000 years ago, and now we've turned out that it's not flat, it doesn't mean we have to get the book out that the fella wrote and reissue it with corrections saying the world is round. We've updated this book to say the world is round. No, we just throw in the bin. Throw the book in the bin. Just don't burn it, because that's considered controversial. Anyone who burns a book, no matter how cold they are, they could be dying from hypothermia, or they could be trying to cook a bit of fish for their dinner. But no, if you burn a book for anything like that, you're considered the servants of Beelzebub. They say, you burned a book, you're the servants of Beelzebub. Don't be burning books. There's more to life than sitting around burning books. But no, if you burn a bit of a tree that could potentially have been used to make a book, that's considered perfectly fine. Oh, yes, they said, oh, that's fine, as long as you planted some new trees to replace the ones that you burnt down. That's sustainable energy, that's absolutely fine. But whatever you do, don't, before you light the fire, don't turn that log of wood into a book and then destroy the book, because that makes you evil. Just skip the whole book creating step altogether. Do it separately. Keep your book making wood separate from your fire log making wood. I suppose in a way there's probably different forms of wood for different. Just like with potatoes, there's different types of potatoes for different uses. You have one type of potato that's good for mash. You have another type that's good for jacket potatoes. You have another type that's great for making chips, and then you've probably another kind that's good for making those crappy little French fries that you foreigners serve in your outlets that you open up all over my country. You foreigners with your French fries. I've been making French fries recently, as it happens, because I got a new very small miniature deep fat fryer, so I'm making smaller chips than I used to, so I can fit more in. I get the Tesco ones. It's a lot easier than making your own. To make your own chips, you have to get out a knife and a potato, and you have to peel the frigging potato, and then you have to chop it up and measure every. You have to make damn sure that, because you see all these freaking cooks now, they come on the television and they'll say the important thing about making chips is that they should all be of uniform thickness. They can be different lengths, all right, but the thickness, you have to be all the same thickness, or else, you'll probably have one burnt crisp and the other one will be like an uncooked crisp. Never the twain shall meet. You won't win MasterChef. I'm not trying to win frigging MasterChef. I'm just trying to cook a bit of dinner to serve with the ribs. I made ribs yesterday. I found that my local shop is selling microwavable barbecued ribs now. They come fully cooked in a vacuum bag. You poke holes in it and then you put it in your microwave for 7 minutes, and your microwave gets covered in red sauce that looks like you murdered someone in it. And then it was absolutely fucking delicious though. They're the finest ribs I've ever tasted, I can tell you. And I'm cooking them in the microwave. There's nothing now that a microwave can't do. I can't think of anything. Can you think of anything that a microwave can't do? Within reason, of course. I mean, in the world of cooking. Not in the world of... I'm well aware that a microwave can't cure my cat of any frigging serious feline diseases, but that's not its job. That's why we have different things. We have more than one thing in the world because we specialise. A microwave specialises in cooking food. A fridge specialises in cooling down food and keeping it a safe temperature. A car specialises in allowing people to transport themselves from A to B or from B to A or from a point halfway between A and B to a point halfway between B and C. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Sure, you just put letters on all the places that you visit and just don't be visiting places that are halfway. If you're visiting somewhere that's halfway between A and B, that means something's gone wrong with the mapping system. Hasn't been properly labelled. Any place that's visitable by car should have a name, or at the very least a letter. Now I know there's only 26 letters in the alphabet, but you can combine them. You can have A, B, A, B, B, A. You can have B, A, A, B, A. For example, this town that I live in could be referred to as A, B, A, B, 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 1, and then the next town could be A, B, B, A, B, B, 2, or else you could just use the frigging names that they have. Everywhere around here is names. You can go out into a place in the middle of nowhere, 5 miles outside this town, out in the country, and beyond someone's farm, and you look it up on the map and it's got a name. They give names to every frigging area in the country. Everything's got names. You go down, you climb up into the sky and you say, where are we now? I say, well, there used to be a mountain that came up here to this part of the sky billions of years ago, and luckily someone gave it a name back then. So this is called Mount Summit, even though technically it's not a Mount Summit anymore, but that's what it's called. This patch of cloud here. It's a movable feast, though, because clouds don't stay in the same place forever. So, I suppose, if you're on that cloud and you move with the cloud, then you're moving to another area. But if you stay in that exact spot in the sky, then you're in Mount Summer, regardless of whether there's a cloud there or not. You damn well better be attached to a parachute for a plane or something. That's all I can tell you, unless you've travelled back in time, or you're able to travel back in time before you hit the ground and be in the place where there's a mountain there. And even then, you damn well better have a parachute, because you can't just having a mountain under you when you fall from the sky is not going to save you in itself. You need something to land you gently there. I tell you, an aeroplane won't be much use on a mountain, or will it? A little light aircraft land on the mountain. They probably can in an emergency, but I don't want to be relying on an emergency. Oh, look, I've just released today's show, Tuesday's show, the comeback episode after the week of downtime. This is another one. If you missed it, there was a show before this one that came out, about 12 and a half hours ago. This one's coming out at midnight 01 Wednesday morning Irish time. There's another one out before this. So look for that. Look for show 549 before you look for this one. That's all I can tell you. Otherwise, you'll have missed something. You'll have missed the boat, or you'll have missed yesterday's podcast, or today's podcast, or whoever you want to refer to it as. Anyway, suffice to say, good morning.
Sit, Pippi, sit.
Good cat.